Next hymn, David is going to share a thought for today, as our next hymn, again, is one of God guiding us, as we sing, "Guide me, O thou great Redeemer."
Well, as Eddie said, today is a day which we call Pentecost. Why do we use that term? Oddly, it doesn't mean a great deal. It simply means 50 days after Easter. But the church generally likes to use unusual words because it keeps people a bit baffled and wanting to know more. When I was a boy, a long time ago, the French wars were just over, Napoleon had been defeated, and life was coming back to normal. And one of the things which we saw as being normal was this season, which in those days was called Whit. Another odd word. Did it mean that it was a time perhaps for clergy to give very clever sermons? No, it wasn't that. That word was used because it was a corruption of the word white, and it referred to purity. The purity of the spiritual world, of God's Spirit coming into people's lives. But I'm not sure I really understood that as a child. what I did understand was that on Whit Monday, which perhaps a lot of you will remember, we used to have a procession of witness round our town, which was Podium. And it used to involve a lot of bands and a lot of churches and a lot of movement. And what I liked best of all was it involved the carrying of enormous banners. I never got to carry a banner. Some of these banners were absolutely enormous. Some of them had 2 people to carry them, and they also had a sort of group of people with ropes to sort of stabilise them as if they were outriggers. The whole operation fascinated me. And I have to confess that what I would really have liked was a very, very fierce wind, which would have taken some of these banners, just so that I could have seen whether the people holding them could restrain them. That was the limit of my understanding. But since then, I've made a journey. The idea of the journey is very important in the Christian life. When we had that reading, we heard a lot of places mentioned. It always makes me think of a railway journey being announced because of all those different places. As an Anglican clergyman, of course, inevitably I'm interested in railways, particularly steam railways. It's something which is conferred on one at ordination. It just goes together. So I always think about that long journey, all those places which we heard of. Unfortunately, I also remember some years ago someone doing that reading, a lot of complicated place names, and instead of reading Cretans, they said cretins. And I thought, actually, maybe some of us are cretins because we have a limited understanding until God meets us on our journey. And I guess that's what's happened to me. My journey isn't complete yet, but God meets with all of us on our journey through life, if we allow Him to. Sometimes we've got to draw near to God, make that effort to move further towards Him. When the band season starts each year, after all the debate is finished between the council and the bands and whether it will ever happen again and all that, the first band comes, and from my house, which isn't very far away, I can open the French windows and hear the band. But it's very different if I actually come into the park, nearer to the band, because the sound quality is different and the experience is different. Sometimes I think a lot of us are like that with the church. We want to be at a distance, maybe because we're a bit scared of God, what God might do. But sometimes we have to make that move towards God, and God makes a move towards us. And then we begin that journey. I hope today, some of you perhaps already are on the journey, some of you perhaps contemplating the journey, but I hope that by us sharing something of our faith, we perhaps awaken some interest in you. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the band as well. And also thank you to God for this weather. The best thing about this weather is people have stopped complaining about being cold in church. And that's a marvellous burden lifted from my shoulders. So thank you, God, for the nice weather and for the opportunity to meet today. Amen.